Hi guys, this is the third time I made this video because I hate staring at my face. I've been trying to express some of the things that have been going on. I've been kind of on hiatus here, unintentionally, but I had stuff going on before the pandemic hit. I am diabetic, for those who don't know, and when the pandemic hit, I started to kind of weeble wobble a little bit, especially because I have a part-time job. Most of you know that, and I'm out in the public, and then I had to stop and think, and what really got me is all the people who lost their jobs, all the people who were getting sick, and I got really kind of overwhelmed, and I was stumbling through that. I was getting up. I did some care packages for a while there for people in my community. It was really overwhelming, and then all the stuff with George Floyd happened, and I don't even want to get into, my best friends are all different races, so when I imagine any of them going through what happened with Asians and being blamed for the virus and being attacked for the virus, and what happened with George Floyd is, one of my friends he's having a baby in a month, and I can't even imagine that stuff happening to him. It's hard. And then I had family friends, people I consider my friends, have their kids get COVID and have to struggle with if they're making it and they're healthy. My dad lost his job, and he lost it. They were already trying to push him out the door. He's worked there for 6 years, and they pushed him out. He was asking for more stuff to do. He's always been a hard worker. They changed his store, they changed his position, but still said you don't have to be out front, which was good for him. He's diabetic. He likes being in the back. Less exposure. He was pretty comfortable. Things got crazy for him with work, and with our numbers starting to increase, he decided to take his 2 weeks vacation just to kind of smooth his anxiety out, not have the exposure, and when he wanted to come back, he wasn't on the schedule. So, he only took 2 weeks off, and I knew something wasn't right, because the girl he trained was from my store, and she worked my shift with me, and she said she wasn't coming back, and I was like, what are you talking about? My dad's only going to be gone for 2 weeks, and she was kind of like, oh, well, I'm going to be moved around to different stores, because now I'm going to be knowing how to do all the baking and everything. No, they had him train his own replacement, and the saddest thing is this girl called out all the time, and she pretended to have COVID, and she was out for 2 weeks, and she would come in and get her coffees, and she wanted them all for free, and all this stuff. She wasn't sick, and she just called out to screw people over, I don't know, just because she didn't want to work. I'm just a smidge ticked off about it, and it's a sensitive subject. But still, I remained working for my company, and partially I did this because now, my dad's out of a job, and he was lucky enough to get unemployment very quickly, and I know people who waited around months for it, and finally they got it, and they were able to feel a little bit of relief. But you think about, all the stuff with George Floyd, it really proved that a lot of companies don't care for their employees, that they didn't close a single day for the pandemic, and then they turned around, and when they were afraid of looters, they shut their doors. They remove stuff from their stores. That shows where certain companies, I'm not saying all of them, what they value. And I don't want to say anything negative about my employers other than a lot of the people I work with don't feel valued. I don't want this to go viral or anything and then get fired, but my dad was in the store when they were hanging up the plexiglass in front of the register, and my boss was bitching about how he had to spend all this money to put up the plexiglass. In the beginning, we weren't allowed to wear face masks to work, and I want to say that it was one specific boss who kind of overrides many of them, who overrided that it was okay to wear them. And until corporate said they had to let us wear masks, we weren't allowed to wear masks. So I stayed with this company. I've been with this company for years, and we moved to a new location, and my shift, we did have a new guy that used to work with my dad who was a little slow. He had never done upfront tasks before, and that's what they threw him into. And so he's a little slow, but he's a worker. He tries. He works as hard as he can physically work. With no training, mind you. His training was they threw him in, and he learned with us running out front to help him. It was a nightmare, right? So we moved to this new store, and now we have a drive-through, and we are a bazillion times more busier. And when you have 3 employees on your shift, and all 3 of them are staying an hour and a half to 2 hours late, coming in early, and they're telling you, we need help, and they're turning around and telling us, you need time management skills. You don't have them. Well, that didn't just disappear after, all of us have worked for this company for years. And if one of us was getting out late, then, yeah, maybe they need some time management skills. If all of us were half an hour late every week, okay, maybe that's still time management. An hour and a half to 2 hours almost every day is not time management. We're 3 times busier, and I can tell just through the cash sales that we have, because most of our sales are cards. And I'm tired of being degraded and made to feel like I don't matter, and that my life doesn't matter, and that I'm risking my life for coffee. It's not worth it. And I'm not going to definitively say that I'm leaving, but I am going to say that I'm going to have more time soon to do the things that I really want to do, like these videos. So I really appreciate your patience. This is Dionysus. I have talked about him slightly before. He is coming. I do have a video scripted, but it's not for him. I want to edit the script that I have for him. It's on the number 11. We're going to do a divine number series, and then we'll do some other stuff. I'm hoping to have 11 up by this weekend. The other thing I wanted to talk about is my new website is no longer just going to be my new website. I still have to get a cash drawer up. There's going to be new things coming. My dad is going to have some income from this website. But some of the stuff that we're selling, we're also going to be selling at conventions. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that, because some of the conventions are very particular. You have some conventions that don't care what you sell. You have other conventions who might not want us there because of certain products that we would sell, and mostly me. So I'm trying to figure out a way to help my father and still be able to have a website for all the spirit keeping stuff, any of the readings that they might find controversial. And I know there's a way to put a password up. I just feel kind of weird doing that. So I'm still looking into options. I'm hoping to have it fully functioning by August. I have 2 conventions in July into August. One is in Savannah, and we are keeping an eye on, the pandemic. And I know Savannah has a larger number of people. It's a little nervous about that, but if the numbers do keep going up, I'm just going to medical furlough altogether, from my part-time jobs, from everything, until I can find a job that's more remotely part-time or online sales pickup. If anybody has any ideas, I appreciate them, whether it's for me, whether it's for my dad. Right now, my Nana and Papa keep going in and out of the hospital, but right now, I think Sunday my Nana is going to be out. My Papa has been out for 2-3 weeks again, and like it's like I'm good, and then they go back in, and then one of them comes out, and another one goes back in. They are older, and they're like passing pneumonia back and forth. And my Nana is diabetic, and my Papa has elephant legs. I don't know the correct term, but he retains a lot of water in them. And at one point they told him, "You shouldn't even be driving. Get the heck to the hospital." Like, it's a little bit insane, and they live in Massachusetts, so it's not like we can go over there and take care of them. And I can't even fathom my mother, who is at risk for lupus, to be traveling at this point. Like, her and my sister, me and my dad are diabetic, but her and my sister have some more serious medical conditions, and they shouldn't go outside. You gotta live life a little bit, right? You can't be cooped up in the house all the time, but I couldn't imagine sticking my mom on a plane, or even her driving and having to stop at a busy rest station, right? I get too much anxiety. I almost lost my mom once, so it's hard for me to think about it a second time, because she had a brain aneurysm, so she's on Social Security. She has no short-term memory, and I just, it's hard. And don't worry about me crying. I cry all the time, and it's just, I don't know if anybody's ever taken the Myers-Briggs personality test, and I know somebody's laughing at me right now because I talk about this test to everybody. My type is known for crying when they're happy, angry, sad, hungry, so I cry for everything, and I'll be fine. I just feel very deeply a lot, and I used to hide it a lot, but crying in front of people a lot more. I remember that I started crying at work because I was so angry because we couldn't get a hold of any of our bosses, and the truck wasn't there, and we had to get product out in an hour, and I'm going home in an hour, and there's nothing in the store. So I called the top boss because I couldn't get a hold of any of the store managers, and he actually ended up scolding me for, he said, "Call me back if the truck's not there by 5, which to me means it's not a problem till 5. If it's not there by 5, I'm going to call people. I'm going to figure this out. Basically, I feel like he's going back to bed. Don't bother him unless it's actually a problem after 5. Okay, so about 4:45. The truck's been there for 15 minutes. Me and the girl I work with are staying late, and we're hustling to get his stuff out by 5 so that there's product for his customers to buy. And he actually scolded me for not calling him back, and I was like really like perplexed on what was going on, because I'm not the one who, I didn't want to wake him up. I didn't need to be talked down to or made to feel guilty, because I'm trying to do something for you to get your product out so you could make money. And that was the day that I really almost quit my job, but I got so red in the face, and I'm telling you, I'm wearing my face mask, and my coworker saw me crying, and she saw the red rate of, and she was like, oh shit, like, I don't get mad easy. It takes a lot to push me, and I can laugh a little bit about it now. But I want to kind of end on this, is that I don't deserve that. And if any of you are experiencing that, whether it's in a job, a relationship, you don't deserve that. You deserve to be respected. Your voice deserves to be heard. And while the answer may not always be yes to everything, you don't need to feel degraded. You are lovable. Everyone who's in this group is a part of my family, and I love you guys to death, and you're the ones I'd rather risk putting my life on the line for than them. This is where I need to be, and I am grateful for every one of you who supported the small victories, who's going to continue to support me, those who only were able to support me from time to time, those who just give a like button. I love you guys, because without you, I don't know where I'd be. And that's the truth, is we have to go on our journey and do the things that we need to do, but we're never really alone. And sometimes life is crazy. Obviously, we've all felt it this year. And there's misunderstandings, there's miscommunications, there's just different ways of life. But damn if I don't love every one of you. Like, right here. And like, it's hard for me to find the appropriate words for it. I feel so much, I get a little bit, I don't think Twitter pated is the right word, but it's twiddled. Maybe that sounds a little bit right. Twiddled, and go back and forth and round, and I can say I love you so much, so many times, but I don't want those words to fade, right? Because it's a real feeling. I guess you could call it my Facebook or YouTube family, who supported me through voice acting. I wouldn't have been able to get up on stage in front of all those people and speak if I didn't have such kind friends who always supported me. I wouldn't be able to speak now on YouTube and Facebook. I wouldn't be able to show my face. In the beginning I wore a half mask, or I would have the little eye pictures, because I was so shy. And I'm continually coming out of my shell and feeling more confident, despite all the craziness and depressed feelings that I've had through all the chaotic stuff. You guys really get me through it. And I hope that even if it's a little bit, that I have helped your journey, or that something soon I will be able to help you with your journey. You all mean a lot to me, and I'm not just saying that. So really know it comes from my heart. because I don't have human words to express these feelings, right? There might be better expressed in another language that has more than one word for love. Oh man. Anyway, I'm going to have a Divine Number series coming out if I didn't mention it already. I'm revising my script for Dionysus. I'm going to do an introduction to, and then we're going to touch on his birth myth. But I am going to have a Divine Number series. 11 is first, and then I'm going to do 111. Then I'm probably going to follow suit. If I do jump around, it's because I've been seeing a lot of synchronicities lately. And we all know that I love synchronicities. We all know that I'm a number geek. But anyway, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do it. This is what I'm going to do it. I'm going to find a way to do it. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to find a way to do my comic. I'm going to find a way to get my anime. I'm going to find a way to be able to have time to make beautiful videos, to help support my beautiful friends, my online family. And I'm going to be able to talk about beautiful Greek gods, Egyptian gods, Norse gods, many, many, many more. You know, I love myths. I love the divine. I love angels. And I just want to share everything with you guys. And thank you for helping me become less afraid to say it, because a lot of my journey has been being able to speak, because a lot of my childhood, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate, was spent with people who didn't quite understand and had their own opinions, and when I didn't fit into that box, I was wrong. I shouldn't talk about that. I remember when I was little and I was talking to my grandma about the Greek gods, and then she was like really, really, really against it, and she was screaming at me in the car from church. My sister's in the car seat, and I said, well, what if they just had different names? What if Gabriel is Mercury, or Hermes rather, and you know, that ended up being true. The equivalent Archangel Gabriel with Hermes and Mercury's, because they're both messengers, but really they're very kind of different in personality. I love them both. I keep talking. But yeah, so like I don't know. My view is still that they're their own beings, but you know, I remember arguing with my grandma when I was little and just being like devastated. I was like, well, what if they're friends? Like, you don't know. That was a long time ago. They could be friends now. Oh man. I would say I was a weird kid, but you know, I like the term unique now, and I kind of like my weirdness. I don't want to be anything but weird, and I hope that you will treasure your own unique weirdness. And you know, there's no one else in the world who can do anything that you're doing exactly like how you're doing. No one is going to bring your individualism, your flavor to the table, because it's uniquely yours. You guys are beautiful, and you rock, and I absolutely love you. And I'm going to end this video before I go on another 20-minute emotional story thingy. But I just wanted to really extend my gratitude and let you know what's going on, what's been going on. Whatever happens, good things are going to come. The changes are here, and it's crazy right now, but long term, things are going to be better. For the small things, for the big things, for everyone. Change can be scary, but it can also be the most liberating. This Dionysus, Roman name is Liber. for the liberator. Change can be liberating. It can be freeing. It can be exactly what you need. So it's okay to be a little bit afraid. But sometimes that leap is 10 trillion times worth it. Just remember, that little thing that says, what if I fall? What if you fly? And maybe you'll fall a little bit, maybe you'll fall a lot. But maybe whatever experience you're going through that has you fall is gonna make you fly. My name is Arrow for a reason. Pull me back, I'm just gonna fly 10 times forward. And we're getting ready for a release.